What's good, everybody? It's your boy Days back again with another video. Welcome back to Progress Gaming. So yeah, Madden live franchise, Little Rock Hounds versus Seattle Seahawks. Let's get it, bro. Let's go.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, Week 17 is upon us, and we've got a good one in store here, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on our home team. On the visitor's sideline, Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald. His guys came up short their last time out, trying to get back in the win column here. On the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys ready to feed off the energy in this building as they try to win one in front of the home crowd. The ball on the tee. We're set for football. And off we go on EA Sports. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by their 6'4 quarterback, the former Oklahoma Sooner, Landry Jones.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
The numbers for Jackson in last week's game, 16 carries, 106 yards.
And they've already clinched the playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
Gregory will look to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards to play. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
And they'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Now Gregory. He's got the completion to Eddie Lacy. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
First and goal.
And this offense has come out swinging here in the early going. They pick up a nice chunk on that pitch and catch. And the two of them have this offense moving in the right direction to start this game.
And he pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Play number 8 here on the opening drive. This is 3rd and goal. Now Gregory to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
But they took the shot, didn't get it. There's definitely a difference here because they had a chance to get 7, maybe 8 if they pushed it. Instead, they'll likely settle for 3.
Yeah, opening drive, holding him to 3, psychologically, maybe a win for the defense. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Now the try here for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Under center, it'll be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost. Yeah. How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
A 7-yard pickup.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. A boatload of catches, 85 yards.
I like the performances he's put up throughout the year. That's the reason he's ranked number 9 in the league in receiving yards. In a league that throws the ball around like crazy, number 9's a good number.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Off of play action, Darnold. Well, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And it will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Jackson, and he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. Here's a 2nd and 5. They'll run again with Jackson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it's a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. On the ground is Rivers. And he'll be brought down with the first down after a gain of about 11 as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. 11 yards on the pickup there. On the carry, it's Jackson. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. They run with Rivers. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. Operating from the gun, Gregory. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Operating from the gun, Gregory. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
It's a turnover on down.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, Darnold loses it. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Jones.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make the score 14-0.
14. Visitors, nothing.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's 2nd and 3. And Shaheed going to go in motion. Here's Darnold. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
First down, Seahawks.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot.
but they know. Looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Looking to throw. Gregory. And he is caught. And he's going to get this inside the 30. So halftime straight ahead, and that means we go to Scott Hansen. It is our EA Sports Halftime Report. Scott, take it away.
Our tour around the NFL starts now at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. The Bengals at home to take on the Arizona Cardinals. And it's Joe Burrow. It's a touchdown pass from 3 yards out. The Bengals are a double-digit win team. They get their 10th victory of the season. Next up, Lambeau Field. Let's look in on the Packers as they host the Baltimore Ravens. And this is Jordan Love. He's going to scramble here and take it in. 13 yards away, he houses it. The Packers had to work for it, but they win it by a field goal. Lastly, let's go out to Arrowhead. The Chiefs hosting the Denver Broncos. And it's Marvin Mims Jr. He's going to look in the catch and then look upfield and watch this. 77 yards for the touchdown. The Broncos find a way to pull this one out as they escape with the narrow win. With that, let's give you a look at the all-important playoff picture in the AFC here in Week 17. In the game you're watching, we saw a couple of touchdowns in the first half. 14-0 is the score as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
A two-touchdown game, 14-0 the score as we get rolling again here in this second half. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting more pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty when you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now Darnold. This one goes underneath to Walker. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Pulled in at the 24. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The home team's offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
At the 36-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Gregory. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. They run again with Jackson. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the fourth. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A good job there defensively to stop him for a gain of just 4, and that'll bring up fourth and goal. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Looking to put a drive together. Darnold. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
It's second down.
Straight ahead, Walker. Well, that gives him a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Out of the gun, Walker with it. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They'll run for it. It's Walker. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on fourth down. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. They run on first down with Jackson. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
On 3rd down, this is Jackson. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. Operating from the gun, Gregory. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. To throw is Darnold. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. Here's 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 8-yard line.
The Shaheed going to go in motion. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Smith and Jigba with the grab. Well, the noise got to be an issue now offensively. Here's 3rd and 6. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the crowd a major factor now. Here's 3rd down. Here's Darnold. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Well, they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Past the 20. He's got the 1st down and then some. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A big play there. His 1st touchdown on the year. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. Extra point attempt here still to come. And it is now 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
Visitors, nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And out now come the Seahawks. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They'll give him 4 yards there. And it's second down.
Gain of 4. It's now second and 6.
Back to throw, Darnold. Now he's going to step up and run. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
That's a gain of 5.
Now it's Darnold. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee.
Well, that's the play you work on each and every week. Your offense taking a knee at the end means you've won the ball game. But how about the defensive effort? A shutout, pitching a shutout. They're going to feel great about themselves.
They're going to feel really great about themselves. A big goose egg on the scoreboard. Nice job defensively.
Yeah, I say dinner on the defensive coordinator tonight.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the home team here, they improved their mark to 12-4 with 1 game to go. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later. Deuces.